Hey there, adventurers! Welcome back to World Building Wednesdays, where we world build on Wednesdays. I'm Barkeep, also known as Chris, and yeah, we're gonna be finishing the trading outpost that we were creating last time, called Cormont, in Heart Peak Pass, right where that tunnel is in the middle of the mountains. It goes into that mountain for a few ways before you come to a little village set up. That is the border town, or acts almost as the border itself between these two continents, Lucera and Karth. And so a lot of trade flows through here, and it is a very interesting city in that above where this like big hollowed out area where the city is a massive gemstone that's like just naturally occurring, like huge mounds of gem deposits that actually during the day glow with the light of the sun. Some sort of weird natural magic that allows everybody to see in this little settlement. Like I said before, Cormont is the name of this trading outpost. It was established by the adventurers of Respite, which is the town here in the middle. That is where all the adventurers come from, and whereas the last draft is placed. So as time goes on, Cormont becomes this resting place for adventurers and travelers who are, traveling to and fro through the continent, and eventually becomes this small settlement and trading outpost, and officially marks the border between the two continents. And it's a place where the merchants who are coming through and trying to sell their goods can settle and rest before continuing their long journey back to where they came from. I'm gonna move myself. I'm gonna make myself a little bit bigger. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit better, right? Maybe I'm covering too much. Okay. One of the things that I worked on, which I think is kind of like an important thing when you're establishing any kind of city, is you need to know the different factions and guilds and whatever kind of other organizations that make up that town. Where with Respite, that everything was sort of based around guilds, right? So you've got the Adventurers Guild, the Merchants Guild, all of that stuff. Just because that's how, Respite was an adventuring town that threw off the mantle of the Empire and kind of went from being like a company town, like an adventurer company town, to being a standalone city governed by themselves. And so, that's why guilds are such a huge thing in Respite. But because we're in a trading outpost, the biggest factions that you'll see here are different trading companies. I came up with three of them that I thought were kind of interesting, and I think each of them has like a different vibe that I kind of wanted to capture. So the first one I came up with is called the Flat Hill Trading Company. They are one of the oldest trading companies, once an agent of the Karthan Empire, and thus, because of that, has some of the most robust trading routes amongst all of the other trading and merchant companies that exist in the world. As the Empire's power began to dwindle, though, more and more nobles turned to infighting over what pieces of the Empire remained, so Flat Hill Trading Company sort of extricated itself from the Empire, effectively sealing its fate and slow decay. So yeah, that's the Flat Hill Trading Company. Sort of once was like the Empire's like official trading company, and probably was like used a lot of methods to drive other trading companies out of business or out of their territory or whatever. Now operates within those trade routes, having maintained those trade routes because the Empire is so weak and unable to like really maintain itself. Effectively one of the most powerful organizations on the planet. The next one I came up with was the Vembrant and Fam. created by a human named Wilhelm Rembrandt, notorious for having too many kids, all of whom usually end up working for the family businesses. A company used to be called Rembrandt and Sons until one of his many enterprising daughters, named Fatima Rembrandt, secretly bought a majority share of his company so that when he died, she could control the company and edge out all of her siblings and even her older brother, who was like supposed to inherit the whole business. She was just like, God, had so much business acumen, was like, nah, I'm gonna just secretly buy up all these shares and all these properties and stuff, so that by the time that old man kicks the damn bucket, she basically has control of the whole company. So she soon changes the name after taking control, changed the name of the company to Rembrandt and Fam, to properly give representation to all of her family members that work in in the trading company. And under her leadership, the company began to accrue even more wealth and power throughout the land. Rembrandt and Fam maintains a lot of several large warehouses within the outpost. The next one, the Silver Streak Co., is a more recent company that has been expanding rapidly since its creation 50 years ago. They specialize in difficult to find rarities and speculate that they have. I should change that. Some speculate that they have ties to criminal enterprises and bribe officials for easier access to ports and for their cargo to be overlooked. Like, hey, here's, maybe don't look in this box, and here's 1,000 gold. I don't know. Here's 10 platinum. Go look that over that way. Look at this box. This box is fine, and so is that one. But you don't need to look in there because of how fine it is. They've also been known to employ adventurers who have been kicked out of the Adventurers Guild, and as such, there's major beef between the AG and the Silver Streak. They only maintain one warehouse within the outpost, and that's, I think, because of the tension between them and the Adventurers Guild, and because they more specifically deal in rare artifacts, strange materials, and minerals. So I kind of see them as having a more specialized warehouse for rare things rather than the other two that are like, have everything. So those are the top 3 companies that I kind of figure would be the major players, not only in Cormont but in most of the world as well. I also see these as an easy way for a dungeon master to have clients to give out like quests to from the Adventurers Guild. So if you were using this as a setting or something, any one of these guilds could have any number of quests where the Silver Streak Co. might have some kind of quest that's like track down. Maybe it's even like, not like morally gray, like not entirely. It's like, oh, there's this guy who owns this thing, and if for his safety, it'd be better if we had it. That kind of thing. Like maybe a little more like rogue and theft with them, whereas for the Flathill Trading Company, maybe it's something as simple as, oh, this trading route is blocked, go and figure out what's up and clear it, or whatever for us. Or if you're doing an evil campaign, maybe it's some like drive out this group of people so that we can take over this land. You have a lot of different options with these kinds of organizations to have different quests. I came up with I was thinking about having there be more than one bar. Usually I like to have a couple of bars just to give people some variety of some choices to like, oh, let's go to this one, sounds like more our style. But I kind of thought it would be fun to have a very strange, like massive tavern that takes care of everything that this place needs. So this tavern I am speaking of is called The Post. which is here. Let's get this window. Bloop. It's called the Post, which is the only tavern in all of Cormont. Like I said, if you want a place to rest, to eat, and to drink, the Post is your only option. But it doesn't make it a bad option. The Post is a massive tavern that spans 3 connected buildings, each one a different style from the last. Gives it a sort of ramshackle and uneven look to it. But stepping inside, all of that falls away to a clean and warm building, its walls decorated with many oddities brought back by adventurers, many of which are labeled with what the object is, how it came to be in the Post's possession, and who donated it. It's almost like if you've ever been to like a Ruby Tuesdays, when there's like shit all over the wall, and it's like, this is a photo of Chuck Mortimer from 1924, or something like that. It's like that, but for shit that adventurers has left behind or has donated to the tavern for them to put on their walls. So, like weapons, artifacts, strange minerals, all manner of objects adorn the walls of the Post, all with stories to tell, some well-known, some lost to time. One such wall sports a portable hole that is forever placed onto the wall. If you don't know what a portable hole is, it is like, it's like in the Looney Tunes, that like fat, like they would put up that black hole and they'd be able to go through it. It's like that, but it's a little extra dimensional space. I think it's like 10 feet down or something, but you can store stuff in it. So there is on the wall a portable hole that has been plastered onto it, and within it is a memorial memorial that is for fallen adventurers who have fell like saving an innocent person. I came up with like an interesting little backstory for it, just because I kind of got onto a roll where this portable hole had been used during the war between the adventurers of Respite and the Carthan Empire to sneak dozens of refugees and deserters from the Imperial Army into Lucara during the war. The owner of the portable hole was eventually discovered and murdered by Imperial officers, along with the 6 others that he had been stowing away, attempting to cross the checkpoint. After the war, the hole fell into the hands of the Adventurers Guild after Cormont had been liberated, and it was gifted to the Post. It now exists as a memorial for fallen adventurers who died trying to save innocent lives. So, basically, just a sad little detail. I just can't help myself sometimes. But also, this is a great opportunity to sprinkle in some of the lore that I want people to be able to know, like especially new players, because Cormont and the Post is going to be one of the first places that the players go to when I introduce them to this world. It's a great place to drop some of that lore, about the beginning of Respite and the Adventurers Guild. So it's good to sprinkle those kinds of details throughout the world, and sometimes it's good to do it instead of having like an NPC be like, let me tell you about the age of the Empire, and then an old guy in a tavern or whatever tells you about this specific thing. You can kind of have some environmental storytelling where you can show, I don't know, like a sword that has been burned and melted in the memorial and has a plaque of like, here lies Torben Buttwitch, and he saved a village by diving into a dragon's mouth and getting burned up. Maybe better than that, but you get what I'm saying. I think the next thing that we might do is I might go into Incarnate and try to design what Cormont looks like, and then maybe we can figure out where some of these places that we just talked about go. kind of want it to be a little more symmetrical, but hey, these things rarely are they? I don't know. I never carved a tunnel out of a mountain before. Post in the comments if you've tunneled through a mountain before and how symmetrical it was. Maybe this like cobbled one. Ooh, yeah, that'll look good. Okay, and then fill. Yeah, bro. Look at that. Okay, cool. We're figuring it the fuck out. It's an okay. It's a safe. It's a mostly safe tunnel. You know, it's like it was used with the what is that spell called? Earth mold. Mold earth. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's called mold earth. That's how they, or at least that's how I assume they built this tunnel. It's just a shit ton of druids just constantly casting cantrips, just frantically. Well, how much does it move? Target an area of loose earth. It's a 30-foot. It's a 5-foot. Oh, that would take so long. It's a 5-foot cube. That would take so long. You would need so many druids. Yeah, if you target an area of loose earth, and it's only loose earth, so rock and stone and shit probably wouldn't work. I forgot this was a cantrip. Whatever, I'm sure there's some kind of spell that druids would use to tunnel through a mountain. Still probably took a lot of druids. Doblin the Goblin. Oh, I love that name. You're right, the boys live. We're building a trading outpost that is inside underneath a mountain. I would say that, like, yeah, especially lower level adventurers mostly go through the Heart Peak Pass. It's a place where, because the tunnel isn't naturally made, it was created by the adventurers as a means of connecting the two continents, and was one of the first big projects by the Adventurers Guild after they kind of created their little town. So yeah, scheduling is that would be some, maybe that's going to be one of the meta bosses. It's like the Lord of Time. Oh, you wanted to hang out with your friends? Well, guess what? His girlfriend has a kidney stone. So yeah, I'm excited for more stuff to come. I'm really been enjoying making stuff for last draft, and yeah, I'm just like really pumped for all the stuff. Appreciate you guys for watching. I have a bunch of social medias. You should be able to find them in the description. For Bluesky, I have Twitter, I have a TikTok, and I also have a Discord channel that you can join that I'm going to be using to post announcements. It's the schedule, and we'll try to build a community where we can all play fucking games together and make cool shit. So if you're interested in that, feel free to join. There's not a whole lot of people. It's mostly people I know, but yeah, feel free to join that that's probably the easiest way to get information about what's going on with Last Draft. So thanks, y'all. Really appreciate it. Have a great night, and we'll see you on the next quest.